New Image Software has its roots in the inspection business. A number of years ago, I was CEO of a national home inspection company where we did home inspections, termite inspections, radon inspections in all 50 states. And at the time, we were being buried in paper. Because our clients were asking us to perform termite inspections in all the various states, we had to develop inspection forms that would meet all the state requirements. So as a smart pest technician ready to do an inspection, all you need to do is tap on the inspection button. And Smart Pest will determine which state you're in so it knows which state form to use. And then we'll ask if you want to make an inspection for the appropriate form. In this case, we're going to do the NPMA 33 inspection. And it's a good example because it has all the elements that you'll find in all your different state forms. Address of the property to be inspected is transferred automatically enters the date and the time into the inspection record. So you see you have the technician's name, the time, and the type of structure being inspected. We have a house and garage. And let's say that because we've got a house and garage, we have a problem in the house but not in the garage. So I'm going to say no visible evidence. And from this drop-down list here, say the garage only. In other words, there's no visible evidence in the garage, but we could have visible evidence in just the house. So that eliminates the need for you to write a lengthy description by having these two fields at the end of this line. That makes it very clear to the reader. So now we can say that we have live insects, and we don't have to say that it's in the house, only where in the house. So I can enter in and you notice your iPad can also allow you to automatically figure out which word you want. You just tap enter and it puts it in for you. We've also got dead insects, parts, and frass. Just going to say same. And here we want to make sure that we only check one item or the other. So even though the final report shows a checkbox, we're going to use radio buttons so that you only select one of the boxes. So if it looks like it's been previously treated, I'm going to say yes. And then we click in this box here. And perhaps that we've got drill holes in the foundation. So I select that. And if you need to customize that, you can obviously use the value list button over here. And as you can see here, those are the two custom comments we have now. You can add anything there that you like. And if we want to recommend treatment, and that's all we need for sections 1 through 3. Sections 4 through 5 with your inaccessible areas. So we said we are in a crawl space. And we put our cursor into this crawl space field. Perhaps we have insulation in the crawl. And we have limited access. And we have some standing water. You notice how that the software automatically puts in the number, a comma, and a space. We'll go to the main level. The attic. And then select our attachments. Let's say we're going to have a graph with some photos. And you can put additional notes down here. I know some people like to put in a note something like this. Now if you use a graph, you can add graph notes here, and we can insert the graph we created earlier. Choose it from the library here. And if you have additional notes you want to add, each of our forms has an addendum. This is just that blank sheet of paper that you're told to attach. So if I click on Library, this takes you to our MPMA 33 Findings Library. And you can add as much to this as you like. You can have it as a findings library purely, or you can put recommendations either with the finding or separate. But to add something like this to our report, we just simply say add to findings, and you can see that it's been added to your addendum. Now, if I want to go back, and you notice that we have categories set up here: stall, shower, foundations, so forth and so on. Let's say that we've got a ventilation problem, so we can go to the ventilation section. So we find a ventilation comment. You can modify any of these comments, just bring up your keyboard. You can also search for comments. So if I click on the Find button, click in the field here, say that there was a problem with clearance. Tap the Go button, and it'll find every comment, including the first one we used, that has clearance in the body of the comment. So let's say that we got an attic access area here that had a clearance problem, and you can see that that comment is also added. And we'll talk about photos later in a separate tutorial. So once you have completed all the sections, you select the Print button. And when there's text in the addendum, you'll be prompted you want to print the addendum. I'm going to say yes. And it also checks to see that you have a graph. Say yes. And you're taken to the inspection form that has page 1, your consumer disclosure information, your graph, and your addendum. And now you can print or email this to your client. So let's say I just want to email this. Go to my gear, save send, select PDF, email. I can address it. And you can put a note here if you like, or just simply hit the send button, and off it goes to your client. To return back to the inspection, just tap anywhere, and you'll be taken back to your inspection report. So there you have it, WDI and WDO inspections in SmartPest.